Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I forgot to go get my cup of coffee, and so I'm going to make it through this video as best I can. I was thinking about coffee, even though it is 12:57 Eastern Time. I was thinking about coffee a minute ago, and I was going to get a cup and then do this video, and I just forgot all about it. But at 46, my memory is not always the best, especially my short-term memory. It's kind of come and go. Now, you might notice that I've cut off the top of the screen a little bit, and that's just because of some of the things I'm showing you today. It's going to look a tad bit different, but not much. The first thing I wanted to show you is this Grayscale tweet. This is about the third or fourth time I've seen them tweet this. They're really pushing this XRP trust, I guess, that they have. XRP's gained momentum amongst both financial institutions and individual users. Why? Learn more about XRP in our Building Blocks report aimed to help investors of all levels better understand the digital asset class. You can see that everybody's starting to push it. It's almost like a ballet that's beginning, folks, isn't it? And Ripple's involved in the ballet. I'll show you that here in a minute. It's almost like a coordinated dance, even between like Christine Lagarde and Ripple. This was a tweet from today. Acting comptroller of the currency, Brian Brooks talks with that about Project Reach, which works to expand economic access and capital for minority and low-income Americans, re-examining the way the credit system works. Peter Pumpkin Eater replied with this.
The joke in my world is that if you wanted to move money from America to Australia, the fastest way to do that is to load it in a suitcase and put it on an airplane, which is a little bit crazy in the US, right?
Well, it's interesting as you step back and look at this. If you and I decided we were going to send $10,000 to California today, the fastest way for us to do it would be to drive to the airport and fly it there. That's a crazy thing to think about when you're in the age of the internet. And the
joke in my world is that if you wanted to move money.
So that we can't play that enough times, right? Okay. Now this I noticed today was King Lorthic. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'll give them a follow. Why not? Buy the dip, and they've got this picture. And for those of you that don't know, this is a picture of a conference that went on in Switzerland. And you have Christine Lagarde sitting here, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, there. You got the head of the BIS here, and all these guys are labeled. They're basically guys that run the central banks in their countries. And he was tweeting this out. It's a Christine Lagarde tweet. Let's look at her tweet. It's right here. Christine Lagarde, I enjoyed marking La Rentrée with Ursula and commissioners. Here, ECB, we see a twin challenge, shoring up our economies for the short run and planning for the future economy. Next generation EU provides a bridge. There's that word again. Bridge, though. All right, and she's tweeting this out. But down here, she follows up. She says, now we need faster digital transition, climate protection as a priority, completed banking union and capital markets union backed by cutting-edge payment systems. So sandwiched between two financial things, she has something that, at what meets the eye, climate, to my knowledge, has absolutely nothing to do with finance or fintech. But they've made it a part of it. And why have they made it a part of it? Well, Ripple's tweet today might just give you an indication. Sergeant Obi-Wan sent me this. Ripple tweeted this out again. And I've told you before, Ripple retweets old articles of theirs when they want you to look at something. So I decided I would look right after that Christine Lagarde tweet where she's talking about how important the climate is, right? A digital future that works for all must be founded around sustainability. Learn how XRP is leading the charge from a crypto standpoint. And here's the article. Look at this section right here. The crypto impact. As it stands, electricity is in historic demand as we continue to carve out a digital future. set into motion much quicker than expected due to this pandemic. The repercussions of this electricity usage could reverse the environmental benefits we reaped during lockdown and plunge us further back into the terms of the inroads we've made around sustainability. A fully digital future is one that would instinctively rely on digital payment assets like cryptocurrency. However, increased investment in the blockchain technology that mines and produces many of these digital assets, such as Bitcoin, could put further strain on the global environment. So Ripple just happens the same day to tie into that whole climate environment narrative, right? Sure, it's all coincidence. Now I wanted you to see this because my son, we were watching the other night. I just happened to have YouTube pulled up, and SpaceX's YouTube channel was pulled up. And I happened to notice that they were about to launch one of their rockets that had the Starlink satellites on them. And so I was watching it, and both myself and my son were completely dazzled for a few minutes at watching this. And we watched that rocket go into outer space, and within literally minutes, they were releasing these Starlink satellites. Watch this.
There on your screen, we see the Starlink satellites.
Unbelievable what they're doing.
And using the momentum that they got from the Sleight spin around about.
Okay, I just wanted to show you that it's fascinating. Now, okay, strap in. So here we go. Someone brought to my attention this Lynette Zhang. She was doing, she does a YouTube channel and all. She was, I guess, she was a guest on this Palisade radio, maybe. There's several clips in here I'm going to let you hear. And the last one I'm going to tie in, bring it all around for you. Okay. And I think you will find the next probably 10 to 20 minutes fascinating. Listen up. Here we go.
$20 bill in September. You didn't know, the individual had no idea that anything had changed. When in reality, everything had changed. And that's actually what just happened today. Everything has changed, even though it doesn't look like it when you're out there, but absolutely 100%, the whole monetary regime just shifted today. Okay, just happened today. And I believe that it's because, without a doubt, they know that we are about to get hyperinflation. And right now, all that new money has been held in the stock market, the bond market, the real estate market, those markets that the central banks targeted back in 2008. Google it, you'll see, for reflation. I wish your listeners would just go ahead and search for reflation trade 2008, etc., and they'll see that. So that's where the hyperinflation is, because you'd have an awful hard time convincing me that stocks fundamental value is up at nosebleed level for the most expensive stock market in history, when who in the world knows what the income is going to be? And we have so many what are called zombie corporations that do not even earn enough money to pay the interest on the debt that they've accumulated. And because banks do not want that to show up on their books, they loan them the money to pay the interest on the debts, and then that goes to principal. This will not end well. This will not end well at all. Make no mistake about it.
Okay, so then we're going to go to the 2540, right in here.
And everybody kind of goes about their lives really happily. Now, I can't say one way or the other whether or not that will happen. But what it really does talk about is a change and a shift and a reset of the financial system. And that absolutely is happening. Historically, the debts that end up getting forgiven are sovereign debts, so government debts, not individual debts. And they want to say that right now there's a debt jubilee going on because of the mortgage. You don't have to pay your mortgage for 12 months. and you don't even have to get an appraisal for 18 months or something like that after you close, and you don't have to pay your student loans for now. So there was a lot of things that are going on making people hopeful that this is ultimately what's going to happen. But history tells a different story. So I think that we should all hope for the best and hope that all those debts get wiped away. But I think we should prepare for the worst, because history has a tendency to repeat itself. So you'll hear some hesitancy because it's a hopeful thing, and history doesn't actually really support that. But you can create your own power and change because, and I'll go back to gold for that, because a rising gold price is an indication of a failing currency. And so gold, the true value of gold, its fundamental value for its most important function, which is to maintain your ability to purchase over time and to make sure that you are always fairly paid for your labor. Well, I can tell you for an absolute fact that if they did, and I'm not going to get you to the penny, but I'll get you close. If they reset the currency right now, the way that they formally do it is against gold, because gold is good money. It has full utility across the entire global economy. So it doesn't need a government to say this is money. It's been money for 5,000 to 6,000 years because of that full utility. I mean, it's used in manufacturing, it's used in the financial system, it's used in medicine, it's used in art, it's used in jewelry. So it has the broadest base of buyer, which is critical, because the fiat money, the paper money, or even the digital money, that has utility in one place. So in reality, that has no intrinsic value. And when they reset the currency and the system, which they will have to do after the hyperinflation, and probably do it 3 times on average, can be more than that, can be less than that, but on average, historically, they will reset the value of the, or the number of zeros in a currency, I should say, 3 times, but they do it against gold. So if you want to see a current example of that, you just look at Venezuela. And during 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, Venezuela had the best performing stock market in the world every year. But that's also as they were hyperinflating away the value of their currency. And by 2018, they had so many zeros on that currency, right? A wheelbarrow to buy a loaf of bread. What they did was just lop off a bunch of zeros, reset gold and silver as well, but gold went up something like 3,800%, and it has continued to rise because they didn't change their behavior yet. And the goal for governments, I mean, inflation is great for governments.
Okay, now I want to take you to the 34, right? Right here.
You can see that for the 10th year in a row, governments, other than Canada, other than the U.S., have been really voraciously accumulating gold, getting ready for the reset. Because those are the countries
accumulating gold
that will be in a much better fiscal and powerful position on the other side of this reset. And so will the individuals. Because 100% of the time, historically, 100% of the time, pretty good percent, you could always convert gold into any other currency, or good or service. But you cannot say that about fiat money that loses all value and has officially, again, go to the Fed, put in purchasing power of the consumer dollar. You'll see it for yourself from the horse's mouth, from the Federal Reserve, that it's lost over 97%, almost 98% of its purchasing power value. You can't go by when they say, oh, it's a strong dollar or it's a weaker dollar, because they're gauging that against other fiat currencies.
All right. Now, the final clip I want you to hear. So what I hope you got out of that is all these central banks for the last really 10 years, they've been accumulating gold. So the people in the know are accumulating gold. Now she's going to tell you what the wealthy and the people that run the world, what they've also been doing besides accumulating gold, which is what I'm going to show you after this clip. So at the 45, right here, she's going to tell you.
Wow. So I can't tell you when we're going to see fireworks in that regard, but I can tell you that we will. And the reason why they're taking delivery is because they know the system is about to die. And by the way, you see the stock markets making new highs, all-time historic highs, more and more expensive, at the same time that the insiders are getting out in droves. And the insiders are the CEOs, the CFOs, the boards of directors at all of these corporations. And they are getting out while the getting's good, which is exactly what happened in 28. And again, every single time in 2007, and it's happening again. I watch insider activity, and it's the highest that I've ever seen it.
Absolutely. You want to.
Okay. So let's summarize. What she said is that all of the powers that be have been accumulating gold behind the scenes. What else were they doing? For anybody that's been listening to this channel for all of 2018 and 2019, we knew. And we were told that the over-the-counter market, all of the powerful people were accumulating digital assets. We saw the Harvard endowment, the Yale endowment, they were all investing in blockchain during that time. And so now with everything going on, what she just said is they've been accumulating gold. She didn't talk about digital assets because I think she's more of a gold person, but look, I'm going to lay it out. Okay. So we know for a fact that over the counter, so that the prices were not reflected on coin market cap and all that over the counter, all the powerful people, Harvard endowment, Yale endowment, all these big wealthy people were accumulating digital assets. Okay. She just said the central banks, they've all been accumulating gold. And also we're watching every day while this stock market goes up, goes crazy, and it makes no sense. You and I both know it makes no sense. Well, when I was a kid, I used to practice a lot of magic. Okay. And sleight of hand is one of the things that you learn when you study magic, where you hold a quarter in one hand and you act like you're grabbing the quarter with the other hand, and you let the quarter drop to the floor behind a desk or a table. And then you show the hand that people thought was grabbing that quarter, but the quarter's gone. Sleight of hand. That is what we're watching is monetary sleight of hand. They want you watching this. They say this while you watch over here. Meanwhile, they know where the money's going to be made. And digital assets, gold and silver is where the money's about to be made. Now, don't just take my word for it. I'm going to show you. You remember she said that the insiders were selling their stock. Well, I decided I would go and look and find out for myself. And I think that what I'm about to show you will be a pretty big eye opener. But first, let's remind you of the video I showed in the last video. Ray Dalio, billionaire.
Go beyond just the traditional 60-40 stock bond mix, or even the same countries, and to broaden that diversification. To include in that portfolio assets that might seem unusual, to include some gold, to include inflation index bonds, to think about the currency exposure, to think about safety as different. Most people think that cash is safe. Cash is the least safe investment. It just doesn't have the same volatility to it, but it has, because they're producing so much cash, it has a negative real return. It's a tax that may be too gold.
All right, so he said it. Now let's go look at some insider transactions, okay? You're looking at Google, Alphabet, all right? Let's go down and see their insider transactions. Here they are. We've got a sale by this guy. May be a woman. Anyway, there's a sale. Let's see if I can pull. For some reason, it's not showing me the other side. But anyway, we got a sale there. Sale, 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 sale. I don't even see any buys. Sale, sale, sale. So all that's going on is sales, right? Let's see if Facebook's any different. Let's go down and look at what their stuff looks like. These are sales, okay? Sale, sale, sale. Let me keep going. Sale, sale. Sale, 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 sale. All this is made. You can see the dates over here. So everybody's selling, right? And then let's look at, who do we have here? Amazon. Surely Amazon's this great stock. I'm sure everybody's buying. Wrong. Sale, 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 sale. Look, this is in August of 2020 right here. They're selling stock like it's out of style, folks. Sell, 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 sell. Everybody is selling, okay? Well, I'm sure it's just a fluke. Let's look at Apple. I'm sure everybody's buying. That's such a great stock, right? Timothy Cook, sale. Chief Executive Officer. Timothy Cook, Christopher Kondo, sale. Sale, 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 sale. Everybody's selling, folks. Now let's look at a company that's not even in the tech industry. This is Costco. Costco, I don't have one in my town, but Costco's all over the place. It's like Sam's. Chief Financial Officer, sale, 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 sale. They've been selling this stuff like it's hotcakes, okay? Everybody's selling. Everybody, okay? And what's been going on, folks? And what are we seeing? Central banks continue remarkable gold buying spree. This is on Peter Schiff's website, Schiff Gold. Following the 50-year high in 2018, few, including U.S., expected the buying strength we have seen. Central banks are looking toward gold to balance some of the risk. We've also got negative rates and yields for a large number of sovereign bonds, So they're buying gold. They're buying digital assets over the counter for the last 2 years. The stock market's going up like crazy because the government is buying into the stock market, not because the powerful people are. They're selling. It's almost like the government is providing cover for them to sell. And now there was this. Remember this? This is Jim Rickards. I showed you this the other day. Here's what he says would happen in the next financial crisis like 2008, of which the one we're in, I think, is 10,000 times worse.
I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm saying that in a
Hold on.
financial panic.
Okay, we had a mic outage. Here we go.
I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm saying that in a financial panic, in a liquidity crisis, in a monetary panic, worse than 2008, which I do expect, if international elites, the IMF, finance ministers of the G20 countries have to restore confidence and they turn to gold, which they might, you have to have $10,000 gold. Any lower price is deflationary. It would completely defeat the purpose. It would repeat the blunders of 1925. And so basically there's nothing standing in the way of a gold standard tomorrow.
Nothing standing in the way of a gold standard. This is Jim Rickards from 2018. Listen to this.
You all know what that'll do to the price of gold. Look for the IMF to maybe have a crypto SDR on a permissioned hyperledger. And again, the BRICS are about on the brink of getting veto power in the IMF. So the IMF will not be able to bail out the world unless they say so. And their price might be the end of the dollar as the global reserve currency. Here's my personal portfolio.
Many of you have been asking me about the virtual private networks. I have one, and this is pure VPN. They're still doing the deal where you can get 7-day trial for 99 cents. This is how you keep hackers from getting your IP address. This allows you to surf anonymously. I would not be buying digital assets or be in this space unless my computer and my phone was protected. Definitely, all you have to do is go. It's in the description of all my videos. Click the link and download the thing for 99 cents. and it's a 7-day trial. And then once you do that, nobody can see where you're surfing from. I am the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Tell your friends and family that if they don't have a VPN, they need to get one. Thank you for listening.
Every day, billions of people around the world are mocked, ridiculed, laughed at, and embarrassed by their friends, family, and even strangers. These people go through their days knowing there are secrets being kept from them. They hear the faint whispers behind closed doors. The information and knowledge is held very close and only shared with others who were fortunate enough to find out. Feeling lost, rejected, and ostracized, these people give up, never finding out what digital assets the digital asset investor holds. But there is hope. Join the free Digital Asset Investor email newsletter and find out what digital assets he owns each month, including investments he's considering. Click the link in the description of this video or go to digitalassetinvestornewsletter.com. Put an end to your days of gloom and depression. Join the greatest free digital asset email newsletter ever created.